show you my add-on. I'll share my screen with you so you can take a look. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see Blender now, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So what I've got is a collaborator add-on that on the right hand side there we've got collaborator. What I've got is a contributor or a supervisor, so you can set who's opened the file basically, and a project name, asset name, category, and username, which I can hear some echoing, something strange going on.
Yeah, that's my microphone probably because it's turned up all the way.
Is it?
Try again.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
think it's Omar's side if he wants to mute.
What's the main functionality of the add-on?
Anyway, so this information here I'm using to give the location of where this file is saved. So what would happen is everyone would just put in what project it is, the asset name, a category, and then their username. And I'll go through that in a minute. So we can select contributor, and then you get to select the tier. So you can select tier A, tier B, tier C. I know we've only got tier A and tier B at the moment, but that third option's there. So with tier A, open up the file manager and you get to open the blend file, you save, overwrite what file you got open, and then you've got some save project update options. So you can save a whip or you can save a review. If you save whip and click OK, what you'll get is a each sheep character Melvin whip folder, and then Melvin Adrian whip1.blend. So it'll name the file for you. And then the same with the review, but it will put a review folder and give it a review suffix. And if you do it again, it iterates. So this is number 2, review again, number 3, and then it's the same with the whip. So you've got now number 2. So everything's like saved correctly in the right places, and it's easy to find what we need. You've got a master there, but it's not accessible to contributors. If it's a supervisor, then you can save the master. So like if a review's been done by Kent or one of us, then we can then save it as a master, which then puts it into a master folder with the master suffix. And tier, if we go to tier B, all you get is the whip. I mean, we could still take a look at people's, because that's the tiers, isn't it? Tier A is people that are going to get more feedback, more review. Tier B would be people that just get on with it, but we can still access their whip to see how they're getting on, or if they need specific help with something. So after that, we've got object data names. So what this would do, you can see I've got 3 objects in the scene: a cube, armature, and a sphere. If I select default named objects, it will select everything that's got default names. So if you've got a long list of objects in the scene, you can easily spot which ones need to be renamed and go through them and change them. So if I change sphere and just call that ball. No, ball. And we call this one box. And we'll call this rig. Yeah, and then we've got object data name match. What this would do is take the object name and match the data name. So basically if I click that, it will change the data name to match.
Mm.
And then this just deselect everything once you're done. So the idea is that you'd select default name so you can find anything easily that needs to be renamed. And that one's just to help, you know, I know with animations and that, it's a lot easier to have the data named. That's one of Wayne's little tricks, I think. And then after that, we've got texture resolutions. So what we've got here is height and width of the texture, which can be set as a supervisor. So if we set that to 1024, the contributor can't change that. That's been set by the supervisor. So that we can set like specific assets to be a certain resolution. And if I just add a couple of textures, let's go 1024. Let's do
What questions now or at the end?
at the end. Let's do 2048.
I'm gonna forget. Let me write it somewhere.
Write it down. And let's do one more. Let's do a 512. So we've got 3 textures. If I set that back to 0, you can see all 3 have appeared in this box at the bottom. If the resolution we're looking for is 512, say, for example, 512 disappeared from that list because it's at the correct resolution. So this just gives everybody like a heads up, oh, these textures need to be looked at. And then they can either just come in here and change them if they need to, or read through them if they've already been saved. So that's that one. And then we've got Collab Comms, which if I split my screen and show, if I click on Basecamp, it takes you straight to the Basecamp Collab page. If you click on Discord, it will take you to the general chat of the Collab, and this one will take you directly to the live stream page channel. Now that is all set in preferences. So if I go to collaborator, we can set these file locations in preferences. So that's then what the buttons will do. So if Basecamp, we'd stop using Basecamp, we use something else, Slack or something like that, then we can just change that, and that will reflect on this button then. And then at the top here, if we're not going to use certain things, like if we're not going to make textures, we can just turn that one off and it's no longer in the list. Same with any of these, we can just turn them off if we don't want them. And same with the tiers. And that's about it so far. So Omar, if you've got a question.
Yeah. If someone is a contributor,
Yeah.
change it to supervisor.
Sorry?
If I'm a contributor
Yeah.
and I want to supposedly since I'm not a contributor, since I'm a contributor, I'm not a supervisor. So if I'm working on the file, will that option to change them be locked? Or can I just click and become a supervisor?
You can just click to supervisor.
But is that going to be locked for people who aren't supervisors?
I could set it up so that once you click contributor, you can't change it, but we might want to go between both. Like if you're a supervisor, if you're going to make an asset, you're going to be a contributor, but then you might want to switch to supervisor. Now I could set it up with a password or something, but the only real difference is the saving as the master. So
okay.
I don't really see a need to. You're not going to get any benefit from that.
So I'm guessing Kent will have a file set up for us like he always does.
Sorry?
Kent will have the files ready like he always does. He has the files pre-set up. So I guess Kent would have.
Well, I've just. Where are the files being saved? Did you say?
Okay. The file, Kent always has the files arranged for us at the start of the collapse. So I'm guessing we will have the contributor or supervisor already set up, right?
Yeah. So, like with past collabs, Kent would have set up the file system. So these names will have to match what is already set up.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of, right at the start of the collab, people just fill this in and then leave it. So depending on what character or what asset they're working on. So once it's set up, it can just be left alone. It doesn't need to change.
Yeah, my question was about people who might be snooping around and changing stuff. If it could be locked.
Well, if they change stuff on here, then their file won't get saved in the right location, and their work won't get recognised, would it? So it's in their best interest not to mess about with it. Well, once it's set there, it doesn't need to be changed. I can't see anybody wanting to do anything like that.
If it does change, what happens? Does it create a folder, or is it just looking for a folder path?
I've been trying to set it up to try and create a folder, but Blender doesn't actually do that. The only place it does it is in the outputs, and that's for rendering only. You can't actually save the blend file that way and create a folder.
Right.
The only way you can do it is with a render, not the actual .blend.
Touch base with Sean. We figured out a few ways to create folders in a directory as like a template, and he may be able to help you with that if that's something you want to do. So the point of the project name, asset category, is that going to be it's looking for that directory in the save folder?
Yeah. So
is that kind of the tier of the directory?
Yeah. So
if that changes, is that going to go somewhere else, or?
Well, it won't get saved. If I change this, what I've done is I've set up. I'll show you. I've set up.
Yeah.
The folder, Eat Sheep, character, Melvin. I set these up previous, and then have this, take that information to then put it into a directory. Like a string, a directory string, and then if I change this, say I change character and put, because I haven't got any other folder at the moment, if I change that and it's let's think of something, a background bush from Spice Vendor, for example, and then I try to save, it'll give me an error because that folder doesn't exist.
Sure.
That's what I wanted to. I mean, you can do it with the, like I say, with the render, but you can't do it with a dot blend. Now, if Sean knows a way of doing it, then that'd be great.
Yeah.
But the point is that those files then may actually get lost because they'll be in a folder that nobody's looking at.
Right.
So it's best, like normally Kent would set up the file system, and then we just save it in the correct folder. This
In our
one.
case,
Go on.
in our case, that file path would be a Google Drive.
I didn't hear a word of that.
What could be happening in that ones? In our case, the file path will be set to the Google Drive folder.
Yeah. So I've got it on Google Drive now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm on Google Drive now. So as long as you've got Google Drive running at the time, then you should be fine.
So I think I had a similar question to Omar. Is that the difference between contributor and supervisor? There's nothing stopping a contributor to taking on a supervisor role, right?
No, there isn't.
So I'm curious.
But the only difference is saving the master final.
Right, but I could like flip the coin there if that's the only reason why have the separation, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I put it there right at the beginning when I was first, coming up with this add-on. It was one of the first things I put in, just in case there was things we wanted to separate.
Right. I like the idea. I think it'd be really cool. I almost wonder though, if it's possible if maybe supervisors have a special supervisor version of this add-on.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah.
Readers one.
I mean, it's there at the moment. Yeah. It's there at the moment, but I mean, it all depends if there was any more features we wanted to add and we wanted to separate them and have them all in one or a separate add-on. We could do that.
Yeah, I almost wonder if it's more like contributor add-on would be all the tools you need to help get everything working, and then maybe the supervisor side is more they have more review tools, right? They have more options with like the texture resolution and making sure file paths are correct. Like maybe supervisor would have like a move command or something that says, "Oh, this folder's in the wrong you're working on the wrong file path, so I'll just move it." Or I don't know, something.
But then, at the moment, like I said, it is only that master file that can be saved with the supervisor.
Right.
So yeah, there's no issue with people. I mean, if we was to open up let's go into a review. Let's say we take the last review. What I was thinking is if we opened up a review, we had a text. Come on. A text editor, and we just wrote the review at the bottom. So we could just write a review, say review 3, and then just put some notes in there, and then save it. As a supervisor, you can then say, okay, that's done. I can now save it as a master.
Yep.
Or if not, you can just save it back as a whip again and say, fix these issues and then resubmit, kind of thing.
Right.
So that was
it also has power over the texture resolution, right? The supervisor position.
Yeah, actually, that's the other one thing.
Yeah.
Is setting the texture resolution. The contributor can't do that.
Right.
Because we'd probably may have it different per asset.
So Do these then stay the default? So if you close Blender, do these come back with the exact same?
If you save the file, yeah, it'll save everything.
Cool.
So if we set the resolution, and then let's just overwrite that, and then if I open it up again, it'll stay there. So if you save it as a supervisor, it will save and open as a supervisor.
Yeah. Cool.
So if there was any other reasons for changing it, then I can't see the point of anybody doing it though, because the master's not going to be saved until right at the end of the project anyway. So there's no point someone going in, oh, I can save my master now.
Yeah.
It's not even done, so there's no point.
Yeah.
I
So,
would change it.
I would almost
And
say
if you're
there's
going
no
to be
point,
doing
just make
reviews
it a
every,
full-on, right?
if you're going to do a review every week, then there's no point really changing anything anyway, because Kent or one of us was just going to go in each week and just check it anyway.
Well, I think if you want to have controls, especially like the texture asset resolution, there should be way for only supervisors to access it, right?
Yeah.
If it's not that big a deal, then we should just.
I mean, I can set up a.
Right, and then just.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents, but I think this is looking really cool. I really like this. How does the object data names, does that recognize like duplicates? So the 0.01, 0.02, and all that?
Yeah, it should do. Let's have a look.
You guys remember that add-on? It was basically like a co-op game in Blender. And Big Studio developed it. You remember Phil?
Sorry, say that one more time. What was developed?
An add-on that it was basically playing co-op in Blender.
Oh, yeah.
You remember? The name.
I forget what that was. I think that was the Omniverse. Was that where multiple people could be on the same Blender file? Is that the one?
Yep. Yeah, you would show up as a camera, a Blender camera.
I do remember that. Yeah.
My headphones sound really, really bad. Yeah, I guess I'm going I'm gonna have to change headphones.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, the microphone's just a little jarbly. Sorry, Adrian. Were you testing that?
Yeah, I need to. It didn't actually select the cube, so I need to go back and fix that. That's in a script,
Probably
so I'll
some
have
tweak,
to go and change that.
Yeah.
Something
Cool.
else, if I may, I think there might be a problem with the file path when you're saving.
My thing sounds really bad as well.
You can set the save location to your Google Drive, Adrian.
Sorry?
If you set your save file location to your Google Drive,
Yeah.
I can't save there.
Sorry?
I can't save on your Google Drive.
You can't save on my Google Drive?
No.
No.
We had an issue with when I rented Boltzmann. I had to save them on my own hard disk.
Yeah.
And it was linking to the Google Drive, which was linking to because I couldn't save it on Kent's local Google Drive. That doesn't work. So that might be a problem if we're linking to Google Drive. How to do that with the file paths where things get saved.
So how did you do it? On your local drive and then have a Google Drive folder?
And I have InSync, which synced my Google Drive and my own hard disk, my computer.
Yeah, so you can go into
Google Drive, and then Kent could pick it up there.
yeah, so you can go into the settings of Google Drive from the preferences.
No, I didn't. I had nothing to do with Google Drive.
And you can set. You didn't.
I don't do that. I have Linux, so I have this app InSync, which syncs part of Google Drive, my Google Drive, and my hard disk.
Right.
You can do it from Google Drive. That doesn't work on Linux.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Yes.
Can you hear me better, Adrian?
Sorry.
Can you hear me? Does my sound better now?
It's a bit better. Yeah.
Let me
It's
try something.
getting an echo though. Are you there?
And we really have to take care of how this work with syncing and file paths and where things are saved.
Yeah.
Because
So
that's the biggest problem actually.
yeah.
Or
So-
one of the big problems we can encounter, and I think we can manage that with the add-on, but we probably need John's help as well there, how to access this and how to do
Yeah.
this. Because
Yeah.
Ken set his output paths, for instance, to relative. But I couldn't save there because it was his Google Drive.
Yeah.
So I had to change all the paths to my hard disk, and
So-
then my hard disk was.
I think what's happening, what might be happening, if we go to Google Drive, you should be able to go with shared with me when Kent shares the folder. If you go with shared to me, I've just emptied this out. I think recently. No, I haven't. And then you click on the file that he shares, and then you have to press Shift K, is it, to save to your drive. So if I click on that and do Shift K, that should, I think it might already be there, but you should be able to then move it to your drive, but it's still a
Yeah.
shared folder.
Yes, but it doesn't work
I
when
think
I
it-
save from my Blender file out. So my output file from my Blender file, I can't save it directly to Kent, even if it's shared.
No.
Maybe that's because it's Linux. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, you can always
It might be a problem because I'm not the only one on Linux.
yeah. How have you been doing it then?
So I saved it to my hard drive
Yeah.
directly. I outputted it to my hard drive, and my hard drive gets synced with my Google Drive, and that's the shared Google Drive part. So that went okay, but I couldn't directly save it to Kent's Google Drive.
Yeah, I don't save on Kent's Google Drive. I just save to my drive, and it
But
automatically
I can't-
syncs.
well, I didn't try that, but I don't think I can save it. Ooh, maybe I could have, but
'Cause
still, I had to change the
I think
file
it-
path.
Yeah, I think it
So
all
it's-
depends on your preferences, how your preferences are set up. Because I've got a drive letter, it comes up with G on my file browser, and I save it there.
Yeah,
But because
I'm on Linux, and Linux has a completely different file system.
Yeah,
It doesn't use drives like that,
no.
so that doesn't work.
Yeah, there must be something in the settings though that allows you to, or at least to have a look at anyway. So
Yeah.
once you save it to your Google Drive, how does Kent get it?
I don't save it to my I save it to my hard disk, and that gets synced to the shared folder on Google Drive.
Yeah, that's the same. That's basically the same thing. Because what you can do is on here, you can save it to onto your hard drive. So you can select a folder and it'll be on your hard drive. Or you can do it direct to Google Drive.
I don't think I can do that, but I'll have to check. But I don't think I can actually on Linux.
No.
I have to save it to my hard drive. My hard drive gets synced, but
Yeah,
it's a
that's
paid app. You know, I can't directly sync from Google Drive or something. That doesn't work on Linux.
yeah. That's when you start Google Drive and it comes up with all this, and then tells you everything's up to date, and it uploads everything in one go.
Yeah, but that doesn't do it for me.
No.
That doesn't work.
But then all you have to do is in the preferences, just point at your local drive, the folder you want to save it to on your local drive, and then sync it when you're ready.
Yeah, that should work probably. Yeah, that could work.
So instead of like I've got a G drive for Google,
Yeah, it should just.
you just save it to
directly
your
to my-
own drive and then
Yeah,
sync it when you're ready.
yeah, it syncs automatically, but yeah, that should work. Yeah, because that's what I've been doing for the renders as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just the option is to just put the location there
Yeah,
and then it'll sync anyway.
yeah, that should work. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it.
Are you planning? Can you hear me well?
Sorry?
Okay, let me unplug my. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me better?
It's okay, yeah.
Are you planning on adding more features?
If anyone's got any features they want added, then yeah, I can add some more. If there's anything you can think of.
I can give it a thought or two. What's the name of the add-on?
Well, I've called it Collaborator at the moment.
We're gonna have to think of a name.
Yeah, that's just something I just didn't even think about, to be honest. It was just there.
I think this is
It's a cool add-on, and it's your first time.
It's my first real add-on, yeah.
Wow, you
Yeah.
guys learned fast.
It's actually really easy.
Sean learned it in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've done this in just about 2 weeks. I've done this. It's the first thing I've done with the serpents. But it does help, I think, to have a little bit of experience, a bit of coding knowledge. Yeah, it does help, but it's not difficult.
if you figure out the folder stuff, it'd be kind of cool if just throwing spitballing things out there. If like a new contributor, maybe he's assigned to an well, never mind. Kent handles the folder stuff, but I was thinking it'd be neat if like you have a fresh Blender scene and you're starting your asset from scratch, and you just hit a button that says create new asset, and it just creates the folder paths and everything that you need.
Yeah,
And it just kind of starts everything up for you. But that might be
that's yeah. I can look into that. To
I might be
create,
taking a little
but
too
like I
much
said,
on
it's
Kent's.
I've not been able to find a way of doing it for the blend file. You can do it with a render output, but you can't actually do it from within Blender. So it might need a script or something to do that, which I'll have to
Yeah,
look into a bit more.
I forget if you had to do like a different like a C is what is it C# that Blender uses too, or is it?
I think it does. Yeah, it's mainly
No,
Python, isn't it? But it's
not C#. I think C++ and
yeah,
Python.
Okay.
I don't think it's C#. I don't think it uses that.
Because I don't know if you saw like the Rafiki add-on we were testing around with, but that was really cool because that is a one-button push. Like, hey, I want to start a new project. It'll create the root folder, and then an asset folder, and then a texture folder within the asset folder, and it just kind of went down. It was really pretty neat. So
yeah, I might have to hunt
when
around
he's not
for.
slaving away 16 hours a day,
Yeah,
might be worth picking
there might be someone shared a script already somewhere, and I just need to find it.
Yeah, probably on some stock exchange or.
Yeah.
Cool. I like the bones of it. I think it's really, really cool, Adrian.
Cheers.
Yeah, and for such a short time, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's the first thing I've done with Serpents, and it is actually surprisingly easy to use. It's just like, using shader nodes or geo nodes or something.
Are you going to show it to Kent?
Yeah, I've recorded this so he can take a look at what we've just done.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's anything else,
Not for now, for me.
Are you happy with all the features? Do you think there should be more features, or?
There should be more, but I'll have to think about it. I'll sleep on it.
Yeah.
Let me
We're
sleep
gonna
on
have to
it.
take it for a spin. We're going to. We have to.
I'll share the
do
add-on
it.
in the chat if you want, and you can have a look, play around with it. But
We should. The next meeting, we should do something with it for a real life test.
yeah,
Work on a file, each of us, add a cube, delete the cube, and test it
yeah,
around.
just do something simple. Yeah.
Don't
Like your
delete the
MIDI
cube.
collab?
Save the fairy.
Hey, there we go.
If someone wants to model a toad, someone wants to take the fairy.
Save the fairies.
I was thinking, like, if you press X to delete the cube, then a little Dalek comes in the scene and says, "Exterminate, exterminate."
Oh my gosh.
And then a fairy appears.
Probably, yeah.
Default cubes are just fairy eggs. That's all.
Is that right, Omar?
I think there's an idea behind all the default cubes in fairy talk. People somehow liked it.
So where did that idea come from then? Where's the fairies and the cubes come from?
Oh, there was someone on the question and answer forums. He was saying he was tired and he was going to again quit on his project. And I told him, no, you can't quit. Every time you quit, Blender fairy dies. And people started joking with that. But they liked it.
Okay, so if that's it, I've got some notes here. If there's anything else.
Not for me. Thanks for sharing that, Adrian.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, hopefully it'll be useful for the collabs and we can help. Because I know one thing Kent was worried about was having different software for different things. That's why I got that Collab comms in there at the end. To at least everything's accessible from Blender. And you can just click a button and go straight to it.
Yeah, I really love that.
We're gonna have to
It's less
test.
to keep track of, right?
Sorry?
I like the naming feature. Like, get the default names out of the way, and so you can change them studio. And also get the data the same name. That's really handy.
Yeah. That was one of Phil's suggestions, wasn't it, before?
Yeah, yeah. So
But
I think we've had a few people that just have rows and rows of cube.o to
Yeah.
sphere. It happens, right? So
Yeah.
It's
I
really,
think that gets intimidating for new people, right? And it's just like, oh man, I got all this stuff.
but it's really good for troubleshooting
Yeah.
sometimes. If I know something was made out of a circle instead of out of a plane, it can really help.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Sometimes if I run into trouble, I said like, okay, I know what happened.
but it's handy for that supervisor when they're doing a review, is to just click on that and you can instantly see that someone hasn't renamed their objects or something.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
And then you can put that in the review and say, rename your objects, and then give it back to them as a whip, and then they can go back through it.
Exactly.
And I think the idea of having a text file within Blender as well, so you open that text window and write the review in that, and then it's always there. So when the collaborator then opens it up again, they can see, oh, I've got a review. I need to action these things.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe an image video editor case can't record a video review.
And then you could add a video review.
That'd be interesting.
Inside of Blender.
Yeah, because you can add the video.
Just add it in the VSE.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I don't know what that would do to file size.
No, that's the issue, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you could access it like from Google Drive or something, you just click a button and it accesses the video. And
Yeah, I wonder if like a supervisor could put like a checkbox that says new review available.
Yeah.
And you like the comms, you could just hit it and it would take you to.
It'd take you to that review. Yeah.
With the
new feature unlocked.
Let's write that down. I'll have to have a look into that one.
Adrian, you should set a new date for us to play around with it as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me give it another couple of weeks and I'll have a look into these things and then we can go from there.
Awesome.
Maybe next month.
And hopefully Sean can be here so he can, given he knows all the coding stuff, maybe he can.
Yeah, I'll share this video so Kent can watch it and Sean can watch it, and then if they've got anything else as well. So by the time they've watched it and given us their feedback, and then we can then get together next month probably and try it out.
Yeah.
100%. Cool. Well, I'm gonna bounce off. I gotta go do some other things. But thanks, Adrian. Really appreciate
okay.
it.
No worries.
Good work, Adrian.
See you guys.
All right. See you again soon. Are you back to work now?
Oh yeah, sadly. If I could code, I would have some fun. If I had the time to learn how to code also.
Yeah, I think Serpents does make it very easy, but a little bit of basic knowledge like functions and operators and things like that does help. I mean, let me show you what it looks like. If I can find it.
It's a bit weird. When I was at school, I hated it. I didn't want to learn anything. And now I don't have time. I want to learn coding, and I want to learn this and that, and Blender.
I'm the same. I'm looking everywhere for things to learn. As I've got older, I was like that at school. Didn't want to learn anything, but now it's like, Can't get enough
Oh,
of
yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
I hate
learning is all about
in
maturity.
school and after school. I started learning all these languages, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, it's
All
so
right.
fun.
So I've got so this is the actual serpents. Let's go back up the top there. This is the main node tree. So you've got like your panels and your functions and everything laid out there. And then if you go into functions, you've got loads of functions.
You had to set that up.
You had to set all this up, yeah. You have to do this all yourself. It's just blank when you start. Then you've got all these operators.
You had to set all that up as well.
Yeah. So this is what the file path looks like. So
You're not helping. You're not helping my case.
So what you set up your properties and your variables and everything. So you've got loads of variables like is contributor, is supervisor, is object mode, and all these kind of things. And then you'll have properties that you set up, and then this takes that file location property that is set up in the preferences, adds a couple of slashes, and then adds the project name, and then adds the category, then the name, to make it one big long string, which then feeds into the file path of the save button.
So this is a Blender add-on.
Yeah.
So that means if the guy that does this add-on doesn't continue to support it, all the add-ons that use this will stop functioning?
No, because once you save your add-on, it converts it all to a script.
Oh,
a
okay.
Python script. So once you've saved the add-on, it'll convert it to a Python script that then is there forever then. So
nice.
it won't break your add-on if this doesn't get... You can't make any more add-ons with it, but everything that's already done will still work.
Sounds like this is one of those add-ons that have sold a gazillion times on the Blender market.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you're not an experienced coder, you can take the add-on afterwards as a script file, but if you don't know coding, you're not going to be able to update your add-on.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to update this and add like a new feature, I would come in here and change the version to version 102, and I can set the Blender, might be 4.2, and then save it again. It'll update my add-on with the new features. But if I haven't got Serpents, if Serpent's not been updated, then I won't be able to do that if it's no longer, maintained.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to go into the script, but if I don't know anything about scripting, then that would be difficult. So there could be a lot of add-ons that don't get maintained because of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of add-ons out there that are made with something like this, because it does make it a lot easier. But you need to know a bit of coding, so you know how if functions and all these sort of statements and things work, so you can put it all together.
Yeah, but it saves a lot of troubleshooting in
It does.
misspellings, like a dot instead of a comma, or
and then finding out where that is. Yeah,
so sneaky in programming.
Yeah.
It messes up because it just stops working.
You could go through hundreds of lines of code and then run it, and then what line is that error? Just because you misnamed something.
Which line, but sometimes
if it's an error, it'll tell you. If it's an error, but if you set up a
sometimes it's the error is actually in a different line.
Yeah.
Because you put a comma instead of semicolon or something like that, or whatever, and then it reads it as a different line, and it's
that could be the difference between some different languages that you could be using a comma or a semicolon between different languages.
Yeah.
And if you know several, then keeping
can
up
get
with the
mixed
right
up.
one, because you can easily get confused.
Or just mistyping.
Yeah, yeah,
It's next to each other, a dot and a comma. It's like
yeah. I do that quite a lot with the dot and the comma.
Yeah, it's like, so easy to mistake. I often have it when I try to move things and I press the H instead of G.
Yeah, I do that.
It's like, where did it go? I just wanted to move it. Where did it go?
Yeah. Lately I've been keep pressing caps lock instead of shift, and shift instead of the control and things like that.
Yeah, I disabled my caps lock because it's such a
Yeah,
annoying thing.
it is. Yeah,
So I disabled it. It just doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. Because I did it a lot, caps lock instead of shift, and
yeah. I just do shift and gives you the capital letters anyway, so you don't really need a caps lock. That's a good idea actually. I might actually remove it.
yeah, you can just disable it. I don't know how it goes in Windows, but I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a way.
It's probably really easy. Just Google it and you'll find
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Okay then, I think I'm gonna have to. Wife's probably getting a bit lonely in the other room.
And eating all the dinner.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I have office work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then.
Okay,
Catch you again
thanks a
soon.
lot, Adrian.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
See you later.
Did you get your Blender conference ticket already or not? Or
No.
are you coming? Or you're not coming? Or you don't know?
Probably not. No.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Maybe next time. I will one day.
And bring your wife. She'll love Amsterdam.
Yeah. She might like Amsterdam, but I don't. She won't like Blender conference.
No, but she can go and visit Amsterdam and
Yeah.
walk around there.
Yeah.
She'll amuse herself 3 days. That's not a problem at all, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But well, anyway.
Yeah. What's all this with the single letter usernames these days? I see a few people have done that. You've just got S dot dot dot.
Huh?
Where?
Your username. Your on Discord.
What? No,
What?
I've not changed
Oh,
it.
Spiky.
I didn't change anything.
You didn't change it.
No?
No.
Let me show you.
What, in the chat?
Yeah. Your name on the top
Wow.
is S dot dot dot.
Try
I
to
noticed. I noticed if we go to Matthew and Jason have got.
update your drivers.
It doesn't appear like that to me.
No.
Does it
You
not?
should update your driver. GPU driver. It doesn't do that to me either. Nowhere. So
Oh, I don't know what it is then. It's
it's a driver.
Discord updated for me the other day, and then I've just noticed all these.
Yeah, I got a Discord update yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
But it didn't change it for me, so
Mind you, my Windows has been updating in the last couple of days as well. Maybe that's done something.
yeah, check your drivers. Your
Yeah.
GPU.
I'm on the Discord app, not in the browser.
Doesn't matter. It still uses your GPU to render.
Even when I tagged you earlier, I tagged at S dot 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 and it come up.
Don't know what it is.
No, okay. Maybe it's got to be something to do with me then.
I don't know.
I'll have a look into it anyway.
Looks weird.
Yeah. Okay then.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah, Omar's got to get back to work.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.